All right, everyone, we are moving on to compositions. So we have already done all sorts of transformations, and now we're going to compose them. So let's just remember all of the ones we have. We have translation, reflection, and rotation. So a translation, the basic rule is to add or subtract from your x and y. So in this case, you would be adding 2 to your x and subtracting 3 from your y, getting 5, 2. Reflections, there are 4 different ones that we talk about, for rules at least. Reflecting in the x-axis is when the y negates, and remember, negates means changes the sign. It doesn't mean makes negative, okay? It means if it's a positive, it becomes negative. If it's a negative, it becomes positive. Y-axis, the x is going to change, and again, you can graph those. Y equals x switches the x and y, and y equals negative 8 switches and negates the x and y. A rotation, again, here are your rules. Remember, you can always use on graph paper and turn to the left. Always to the left. Okay. So that's just a quick review of everything we've done. So now let's talk about what a composition is. A composition is when you do more than one transformation at once. So, for example, I could do a translation, so I slide it, followed by a dilation where it gets bigger. That's a composition, okay? This is what it's going to look like. What is the image of our 3, -2 under the composition below? So they want us to perform both of these transformations. With a composition, you always do the one on the right first. Please do whatever you need to do to remember that. It's always the one on the right first. So this little O here, in case you're wondering, that's the symbol for composition. It means you're doing them both together, and you're always doing the one on the right first. So I would add 2 and subtract 3 to the given point. So 3 plus 2 is 5, -2 minus 3 is -5. And then I would rotate that point 90 degrees, and I would end up with 5, 5. Again, you always have access to graph paper, so if you don't like using the rules, just grab a sheet of graph paper and do it on the graph. Let's do another example. So if I'm given triangle ABC with the coordinates there, state the coordinates of the image of the triangle under the composition, rotation 180, reflection y equals 2. Again, notice I said rotation 180 first. That's because we always do the one on the right first when composing. So E is going to become 2, -1 because the rotation 180 changes the sign on both coordinates. A is going to become 0, 1, and M is going to become 1, 3. Notice I have prime here. Now, because I'm changing it again, these are going to become double prime. We're reflecting over y equals 2. I definitely want to use some graph paper for this one usually. So if we just quickly remind ourselves, here's where y equals 2, and it equals 2 all through here, like those points were just showing. That's the line y equals 2, just a reminder. So I want to reflect these coordinates over that line. So again, these are my image coordinates. So I'm using these ones, not the original, because I'm composing. So I'm doing this to what I just did, which are these guys. Okay. All right, so I just count, right? So M is 1 away, it's going to be 1 away in the other direction. E is 1, 2, 3 away, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3 away in the other direction. A is 1 away, so it's going to be 1 away. So there are all my coordinates. And then I would just copy those down. A way to do it without a graph is by simply saying, okay, if I want my y value to go to 2, because that's what I'm reflecting over, how does -1 get to 2? My x's are all going to stay the same because I'm reflecting over a y line. So if I go up 3 from -1, that gets me to 2. So if I go up 3 from 2, it gets me to 5. 1 up 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 down 1 is 2. 2 down 1 is 1. So if it makes more sense to you that way, do it that way. Otherwise, I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you to use graph paper. Okay, if you want to, please try this one for me. Remember, always do the one on the right first, and you will be good to go. Have a great day. I'll see you in class.